my little wood block. And now, aren't they fantastic? Some of these were gifties. And then these are my guitar string. And these are my Buddha bracelets. So I do love my bracelets, y'all. I sleep in them, I bathe in them, I never take them off. And then they break, and then I just buy a bunch more. I love them. Okay, so I have to have, guys, y'all are gonna have to bear with me on the zooming in and out because I have to have room to move around, okay? I cannot paint and do everything and stick in one little 2x4 section. We're gonna have to give me some grace with doing the zooming in, all right? I'm doing the very best job I can, and that's just all there is to it. All right, so 2 coats of gold. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna grab our Mod Podge, and I'm gonna get a little cup. We're gonna squirt some in here, and we're gonna do our napkin. What did I do with my napkin? Oh. All right, so here's our napkin. Before we do our Mod Podge, obviously, let's cut it to size. This is a big old napkin. Look at this. This is gonna make a lot of projects for y'all. Oh, that would be so sweet, Anne. This is going to make a good size piece. I'm actually just gonna cut one little section out, and then we'll cut it to size, and then we'll peel off the back layer. So I'm just gonna cut one of the folds. Come on. All right, one of the folds, so that's gonna still give me lots of stuff to do with one napkin. All right. Oh gosh. So let's get it on here, and I'm gonna, at the bottom, this is a hard edge and this is a hard edge. So I'm just gonna line those 2 edges up. Then I'm gonna kind of do what I did yesterday. I'm gonna grab a pencil and grab a blue one again. And I'm just gonna kind of sketch around and figure out where I need to cut again, right? So I've got it a little bit off the edge on the left and on the bottom. So I'm just gonna bend it over. Wonder if I can just do this and it'll show. I ain't going to. I'm just gonna make that mark right on the edge, and then we'll cut inside the line. It's just easier for me. You can do yours however, whatever works. You can measure and cut, which, you know, I haven't seen my measuring tape in forever. Why are you painting the background gold versus white? I just wanted to. No reason whatsoever, except that I just wanted to, because I'm gonna add a little bit of gold to our napkin after we decoupage it, and I just wanted it to be gold. Just something different. Just something different. So I'm gonna cut there, right on, just on the inside of that line, so it's a little shy. And same here, and then we'll dry fit it. See how it works. I don't like that side. I'm gonna work on this side. Love it. It's just inside, and so that it also has a little gold edging. So there we are. All right. Yeah, we went to lunch today. The girls were whining about lunch, so I took them to lunch. After I made them sit and write out 200 envelopes to mail graphite paper, they were kind of whiny. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and peel off the backer. I feel certain there's more than one because this napkin feels super thick. So, yep, there it is. There are 2 liners, 2 little backers. So I'm gonna peel all that. That's right, there is never too many bracelets. I would have them this much. I love them, never take them off. Only way they come off my arm, Well, when I get a manicure, I take them off and put them in a little baggie in my purse, or when I get a massage. But the other way they're coming off is if they break, right? All right, so now this is all dry. We've got our napkin down to just the design. So we're gonna put some Mod Podge, and it doesn't matter if you're using satin or gloss or matte. It doesn't matter, because we're just using this to glue the napkin down, and then we're gonna resin over the top. So whatever Mod Podge you have is fine. I just so happen to have satin, probably have this jar. We're down to the nitty gritty, and it's kind of gooey down there. I probably have had this at least 10 years. So I'm gonna pour some into my little cup. Ooh, there's lots of chunks in there too. It's a chunky Mod Podge. All right, so let's just real quick get a thin layer. It's like there's a fine line, we talked about this yesterday, between too much and too little. You want enough to cover every square inch of the surface of what you're gluing, but you don't want it drippy. Does that make sense? You don't want it to be so thick that it tears your napkin. So you just want a nice layer. And that looks pretty good. Not too much, not too little. All right. Now, this is the hard part. I'm gonna start at the bottom, and I'm just gonna lay the edge of my napkin, because it's gonna be hard to get up if you get it wrong. Lay the edge of my napkin down, and then I'm just gonna gently lay it all the way. There we go. Now, I wish it had been a little lower, because there's not much of that gold shown there, but we'll use that as the bottom, and we won't worry about it. All right, now I'm gonna take my Mod Podge on my brush, and I'm gonna hit that center, and then I'm gonna brush from the center out, right? So you're gonna want to start in the middle and work outward all around your napkin, just like yesterday. Work out to the edges, get it nice and covered. Oh my God, Gina, 10,000. 10,000, you old mask licker. All right, so now I've pulled it from the center out. So now what I want to do is just really gently go from the edge towards the center, just so that if there's any napkin that's kind of raised up on the edge, any part of the napkin that's kind of not stuck down good, we're shoving a little bit of that glue up under that edge so we can tack it down. Right now, I'm just gonna come down and get any excess off. And then we're gonna get this booger dry. We're gonna dry the Mod Podge. Put that in there. We're gonna dry the Mod Podge so that we can do our next step. What are the paint pens you use for the shrinky dinks on? The ones that I used are Master's Touch. They're colored Master's Touch graphic, but they're unbeknownst to me, they are discontinued. But you can probably go on Amazon. I will tell you that the Poscas work, Cynthia. So if you go on Amazon and find the all the colored Poscas, they will definitely work. You can use watercolor pencils. If you use a different brand, do not use Sharpie. I'm gonna turn this down. Do not use a Sharpie, it will run. But go, anything you use besides a Posca or watercolor pencils, I would make sure it's archive quality, or just do a test before you do your main project so that you can see if it runs or not. Because you don't wanna do a big old project and then find out that I got a bubble. Find out that the ink runs on your marker. I'm getting a bubble because I'm trying to heat it too fast. So we're just gonna get this dry. These blue glass chips are gonna be so pretty on here. I just ordered like a 30 pack of colored pastas because I'm obsessed with shrinky dink so much. It's still sticky, so we're just gonna keep going. If anybody else has a question. Yeah, Jane, I don't think they have these though. I bought a pack of these on clearance, so I'm pretty sure they don't have these Master's Touch pens. These are the ones that I used on the Shrinky Dinks, and they're discontinued. I've looked for them everywhere. So they gone. They be gone. I'm gonna make sure that all that Mod Podge is dry. It's almost there, y'all. Getting there. Let me see. I'm gonna let it cool for a second so I can see. And it's still a little sticky. I will tell you this, with this particular napkin, I can tell, I don't know if you can tell or not, let me grab it, that in the white blocks of the napkin, it is definitely showing your background color through. So if you want a more white check, white and blue, you're gonna wanna paint white underneath here. Do you see how the gold is reflecting through the black square? Keep that in mind when you're doing yours, all right? It's gonna reflect your background. I do, Donna. It is on my website under my favorite links, and it's in the membership group as well. I think it's in the featured tab. I'll try to remember to post a link. I got a bubble. I'll try to remember to post a link. I appreciate y'all buying through my links because I do get a few pennies here and there for that. Sometimes, Dodie, if I do get a bubble, I will pin prick it and try to smush it down. Sometimes I just don't worry about it. Y'all know me. I'm a I don't care kind of girl. It'll be all right. Oh yeah, good idea to seal your shrinky dinks. That's something you can do as well. If you're using a marker that maybe you think might not fare well with resin, you could totally just use some sealer, a clear acrylic spray, and just seal the back where you colored them, right? So totally do that. All right. Yeah, now it does look antique, doesn't it? It's a little sticky still, but I think it's gonna be okay. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take my gold Posca and I am gonna outline very loosey-goosey some of these blue squares just to see. Oh, it's a little too mushy still. Hang on. I wanna do a little test. Oh my. That comes out big, don't it? I need to get that off of there before I run something through it and make a mess. And then I'll be sides. All right, let me see if I very lightly can add some gold to my blue squares just to give it a little extra something, something. I like it. So I'm just very loosely, need to get a little more in my pen, very loosely adding. Be gentle too, unless you let your Mod Podge dry really well. You're gonna want to be gentle because the napkin is still a little tender. All right, I like that. Yes, check it. I'm gonna hit that with the dryer again for just a few seconds. I sell these strips. The ones from yesterday I don't sell, but I do sell these in a 3-pack. So you get all three, like 3 strips. Tina, you crack me up. All right. Just to set that gold up a little bit. Now we get to do the fun stuff. These are too long. You see how that, I'm trying to find my thingies, that glass strip is the same length as my little piece of wood, all right? It actually is a little bit longer, and we don't want that, so we don't want it hanging off the edge, really. So what I'm gonna do is just take off about an inch, maybe, of this. I'm gonna use this one. I'm gonna take off about an inch, and I'm just gonna score on the smooth side. All you gotta do is make a little nick. Then you're gonna use your breaking pliers with the score side up, and boom. Now I'm gonna take my stone or my sander, and I'm not gonna do it right here because I don't want the dust here, but I'm gonna hit with that edge. Because when you break the glass, it's sharper on that edge, right? So that works nicely. Now I'm gonna take this piece and I'm gonna cut it to about there. See how I have about an inch? It's about an inch shorter than the original one. So I'm gonna, on the smooth side, I'm gonna make a little notch. And we're gonna break it. I'm gonna hone that little edge. The something, that's funny. All right, so now I have 2 pieces. One is shorter, and we're gonna glue those on right in the middle. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna lay them flat, boom, shakalaka. I'm gonna take a little bit of Aleene's clear tacky glue, and I'm gonna put a few dots. I think I am. Right in the middle, and then we're going to just press those together. I like to smear them, smush them around to make sure that they're nice and stuck. And then on the skinny edge, I'm just gonna put a few little dots, and all this does is help hold it in place until we resin. So now I'm gonna find my center. I have to turn it the right way. I'm gonna find my center. And that is our vertical piece, all right? So now I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna use this piece that we already cut as one, and then I'm gonna use this piece and make one a little bit longer. I like my cross bits to be not the same size. So this will be one side, here and here. And then I'm gonna take this little bitty piece and I'm gonna make this one just a smidge longer, just maybe 1/8 of an inch. Snap. Let me hit these with my little sander. That one. That one. Let's get them all. And this one. Oop, almost threw my thingy across the room, right? So let me wipe that dust off. So we have 4 little horizontal pieces. I'm gonna put 1 drop of glue on one piece on each side. We'll sandwich, squish them together. Then I'm gonna put a little bit of glue, just a couple of tiny little dots. Let me see, trying to see which one's longer. And we're gonna put right here, and then smush them together. Oh, I touched the glue. I got the glue on my finger instead of the cross. So I need to add a little bit more glue. to the middle. Then we'll do a little on the edge. And we'll put this piece here. It's sticking to my finger because I got glue on my fingers. Let me dip them in my water. Yeah, watch the road, Helen. Watch the road. All right, I'm gonna pull this towards me just for a second so I can make sure it's all lined up. Just stand up. Make sure it looks the way it should. All lined up nicely. It looks a little crooked. All right. So now, let's put the top back on the glue before it just gets lost. We got a little extra bits. And I'm gonna take some, I kind of want to use the Pacific Blue Reflective. Let me see if I have some here. And that's Cobalt. Because it is a little bit darker. And, let me see, sorry, should have prepared. There is Pacific Blue Reflective. I got 1/2 inch. I got several bags of regular. And no, hang on, I think I found it. No Pacific Blue. Guess what? Pacific Blue Reflective. Okay, let me put these away. If I don't, the girls will come in tomorrow because I'll just leave them there all night. And they'll be coming in and saying, why did you not clean up after yourself? So I'm going to take, this is Pacific Blue Reflective, which means it's the same as the Pacific Blue, but on one side of the glass, it's mirrored. All right, so I'm going to just put a bit of this in my hand. Just dump about that much in my hand. I like to kind of spread it out. And I'm going to drop. What? Now that might have been a little excessive, but we're going to go with it. I'm going to get this big old piece off. And let's get it kind of in. Well, hang on. Let me clean up my mess. Now I messed it up, so I got to go back up here. We got the things leaning. All right, one side is deeper or thicker. All right, here we go. Now, all right, plenty of glass. Let me pick that up and show it to you. Y'all are killing me with the zooming in. How about I pick it up? There you go. There. All right, now I have a little piece of, hang on, I gotta micromanage just a second. I have a little piece of glass bit. We're gonna glue that. I'm gonna put a little bit of glue right in the center. I think all the glue ran down to the bottom. A little bit of glue right in the middle. Then I'm gonna put some glue on the chip as well, so we kind of sandwich it. And we're gonna add that right to our cross. Oh, y'all, I am completely in love with that. Completely, unemphatically in love. All right, so now we get to resin. Look. Oh. Love it, love it, love it. Let's resin. I'm gonna make, who remembers how much I made last night for the 12-inch piece? Does anybody remember how much resin? Was it an ounce? I'm gonna make, let me grab a pen and I know I don't need an ounce. I'm gonna do a 1/2 ounce. So we'll do a 1/4 ounce of hardener. If I can get my pen to work, and a 1/4 ounce of resin to total a 1/2 ounce. There. Yeah, I remember that now because I had leftover. Okay. So we're gonna do a 1/2 ounce. So let me grab my gloves and my resin. Trying to watch the time. I have a live on the other page as well, on the member page. So let's get her done. All right, so let's do the hardener. 1/4 ounce. And right there, stop. Let's do resin. And if you're new here, we are using art resin. It's a 2-part 50-50 mix. So we're gonna do the resin and squish, squish, squish. Squish, squish, squish. There we go. And now we are going to mix for 3 minutes. We're just gonna stir and scrape and stir and scrape and stir and scrape. Thank you very much, Catherine. All right, I'm gonna scoochie this over and we are going to stir. So if anybody has any questions while I'm stirring, just let me know. And guys, remind me if I have leftover resin, remind me to rub a little on the top of my last night's piece where I did the, I wonder if I should add gold to the top of this cross. What do you think? Should I add gold to the edge before we resin on the top of the cross, the glass part? I kind of feel like I should. It's at 5, Margaret. What do you think? I gotta mix. Catherine, I'll get in trouble if I don't mix, but after we're done mixing, I may add a little bit of gold. Thank you for the sprinkles. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. It is fast, isn't it? You can do so many of these at once. You could like line up like 20 blocks, paint them all, let them dry, then line up and put all the napkins on. You could do all different ones and let it dry and come in and have all your strips, boom, 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 boom. You could do these in mass quantity so easily. Yes, add the gold. Yes. All right, I have to wait till Catherine says I can stop, and then we'll add the gold. Scrape, scrape, scrape the sides, scrape the bottom, make sure it's nice and mixed. Okay, y'all were talking about how your phone keeps telling you somebody's watching and it's the same person over and over. I'm getting that too. Mine is, hang on, it's going to pop up again in a second. The wood block is just a 2x4. So go to Home Depot and grab you a 2x4 and cut it into 6-inch sections. Yes, all the international shipping issues are resolved. Let's see. Scraping. Scrape. Mix, mix, mix. Scrape, scrape, scrape. Catherine says time. So while we're getting ourselves together, I'm gonna grab my pasta pan. We'll move that so I don't spill it. And I am going to take my pen and I am just gonna, I'm really kind of hitting it at an angle. So it's like an L and I am hitting it right, I'm holding my pen at a 45 and just barely hitting that edge. Can you see that? Let me turn it this way so it's angled correctly. It wants to bend because it's not quite dry. So let's hit this one. Let me wipe that off because I got a little crazy. We'll do this. Look at that. Does that not just bring it to the next level? Let's do this tip right on the edge. Just barely touching. Boom. And let's get up under there. Look at that, y'all. Just takes it to the next level. Look at that. I love it. Who has shoulder surgery tomorrow? Wendy. Good luck, honey. We'll be thinking of you. All right, so our resin is mixed and ready. I'm gonna give it one more quick little swirl. And we're gonna just put resin right on top of this. I'm gonna start with my glass strips because I wanna make sure those are nice and covered, especially those end pieces. And we're gonna make sure it's covered enough that it's dripping down the sides. And let's do this one. And this one. Let's get that glass chip really well. Now we'll come down this. Yep. Make sure you're putting enough that it's rolling off the edge and running down the side of your cross. You want those sides done. Now we're gonna come back up and I'm gonna hit all my little glass bits that we threw on. Y'all remember, I almost did one of the plaster crosses that I haven't done in forever on the wood block. Do y'all remember those? I know some of you OGs do. Some of you guys who've been around forever will definitely remember the modeling paste crosses where we took a piece of wood and gosh, I don't think I've made one in 5 years. I haven't made one since I moved back home. Take a piece of wood and put paint on it, give it a little gold, little modeling paste, texture, and then resin. I've been seeing those all over Pinterest lately. I'm like, oh, well. All right, let's get this side. Make sure all that glass is covered so none of it falls off when we're done. And we're almost there, y'all. Almost there. All right, I'm gonna go around my edge a little. I think I have plenty, but I wanna make sure. I'm gonna save some for my other cross. I'm just gonna take my stick and pull the edges. I want it to cover the whole top surface. Hang on. Get in there, sucker. I'm either having a hot flash or the temperature in this room went up 20 degrees. What do you guess? What's your guess? Lord have mercy. All right, let's just pull it to the edge. I'm gonna have to use my finger. I was trying to keep my gloves for the next live, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to. All right, I'm just gonna take my finger and I'm just gonna rub around the edges. The edges are kind of rough because this is a 2x4 block, so it's not gonna be a perfectly smooth, perfect, flat surface, okay? Don't even think it's going to, because it's not. I just wanna get that on the curved edge. All right, I'm gonna wipe my finger off so I can reuse my glove. I'm gonna hit it with the heat, and then, actually, before we hit it with the heat, I'm gonna grab my other cross, and I'm just gonna use my finger. I'm gonna throw this away, and I don't want it to drizzle this whole thing again. So I'm just gonna use my finger and hit the edges, the top edges of this cross where I added that gold from the Posca, just to make sure it doesn't ever come off. So we're just gonna add just a little finger paint of resin. Yeah, I don't mind buying the napkins because I normally use what I want and then give the rest away in orders. So if I was buying 100 napkins to use one and was gonna waste the rest, yeah, I wouldn't do it either. But I just gift them. Put them in mystery boxes, put them in orders. All right, y'all, I think we did good. There. So a half an ounce was enough to do this one and to put a little extra on here. I'm gonna wipe my fingers off. I'm gonna take my gloves off so I can use them again. And I'm gonna hit these with some heat. Let me scoochie it over. We're gonna hit these with some heat. Yeah, you can do that too. I keep them in my bathroom as well for people to use because I hate a hand towel. All right, we'll hit that one a little. Oh, that's on cold. Let's get some heat. Y'all, this is spectacular. I love it. And now I want to do 20 crosses with different background napkins, right? Oh my goodness, do y'all love this or what? Let me see how much closer I can get. Look at that, let me see. I love the gold, makes the cross really pop. I just stuck my finger in the other. So cute. Yes, did that not bring it to the next level? You really couldn't see the cross, and I was like, oh, what am I gonna do? But that gold makes all the difference in the world.